This is Sky News at 7, our top stories. Saying farewell to a Vietnam War hero and one of America's most high-profile politicians.
The America of John McCain has no need to be made great again because America was always great.
Rescued from the English Channel after 2 days drifting in a rubber dinghy. The far-right rallies in Germany as racial tensions again spill onto the streets of Chemnitz. Some of Britain's best-known sports stars and celebrities could have been denied honours because of what Her Majesty's revenue calls poor tax behaviour. Tour de France winner Geraint Thomas hopes for a special race in front of his home crowds. And we'll have the very latest sport in Sportsline at 7:30. Very good evening to you. Washington's elite put aside its political differences today to pay tribute to John McCain. Former Presidents Barack Obama and George W. Bush led the memorial service to the Vietnam War hero and Arizona senator. Well, John McCain's daughter Meghan captured the moment, but one person was clearly missing. That person, President Donald Trump. From Washington, Sky's Cordelia Lynch has this report.
Every step of John McCain's passing was choreographed. Sky News, Washington.
Well, Cordelia joins us now from Washington. Cordelia, you were watching that ceremony full of emotion, and I think it's fair to say a lot of symbolism as well.
Yes, rich with symbolism, and that was very deliberate from John McCain. He spent months poring over the plans of these services and how they would play out, how they'd be received by America, many in American politics, and there are very few of those left. OK,
Cordelia, thank you. And that story is likely to feature in tomorrow's papers. We'll be taking a first look at those in our press preview. That's tonight at 10:30 with author and journalist Rachel Shabby and Daily Telegraph leader, writer Tim Stanley. Racial tensions have again spilled onto the streets in East German city of Chemnitz. They've been days of protests there and counter-protests since the murder of a 35-year-old man last weekend, which has been blamed on immigrants. Well, our correspondent Diana Magnate joins us now from there. What are scenes like on the streets at the moment, Diana?
Well, there have been two sets of demonstrators really out today in Chemnitz, as there have been throughout the week. You have on the right a grouping which involves so significant numbers. There are water cannon vehicles here at the ready, and we'll see what the night holds.
OK, Diana Magnate in Chemnitz, thank you. 4 asylum seekers believed to be from Iran have been rescued from a rubber dinghy after 2 days drifting in the English Channel. Well, the skipper of the fishing boat that found them says that the group had just 3 oars between them. He was speaking to Sky's Katie Spencer in Dover.
Well, that fishing vessel, the Royal Charlotte, was heading out. It was just about 10 o'clock in the morning. They weren't far from the harbour here in Dover when they come out for the day to go fishing on this boat. It must have come as a real shock to be caught up in these rescue efforts.
Well, let's take a look at some of the day's other news stories now. And the Saudi-led coalition in Yemen has expressed its regret over mistakes made in an attack on a bus in which more than 40 children were killed. The coalition pledged to hold accountable those responsible for the airstrike on August the 9th. A passenger jet has skidded off the runway and caught fire whilst landing in the Russian city of Sochi. Russia's healthcare ministry said 18 people were injured, but there were no fatalities. The Boeing 737 was reportedly carrying 164 passengers and 6 crew members from Moscow to Sochi. More than 300 prison staff have been sacked or disciplined for passing contraband, including weapons and mobile phones, to inmates in the last 6 years. Well, the figures were released by the Ministry of Justice in response to a Freedom of Information request by the Observer newspaper. A spokesperson for the prison service says they remain vigilant to the threat posed by corruption and wrongdoing of a very small number of our staff. The bishop who led Aretha Franklin's funeral has apologised to Ariana Grande after being accused of groping her on stage. Bishop Charles H. Ellis III was seen holding the singer high above her waist with his fingers squeezed around the side of her chest. Bishop Ellis said it was never his intention, adding, "Maybe I crossed the border, maybe I was too friendly or familiar, but again, I apologise." Some of Britain's best-known sports stars and celebrities could have been denied honours because of what Her Majesty's Revenue calls poor tax behaviour. A government memo was revealed that individuals who use lawful but controversial tax avoidance schemes are being flagged up to the Cabinet Office, which draws up the honours list. Sky's Nick Martin has this report.
The honours system rewards individuals for services to the United Kingdom. There's nothing honourable about that. Nick Martin, Sky News.
You're watching Sky News. Coming up, Geraint Thomas gears up quite literally for the tour of Britain. Now, tomorrow, some of the biggest names in cycling will take their place in the peloton for the Tour of Britain. Organisers hope the event will one day be considered one of cycling's classic races, alongside the likes of the Tour de France and Giro d'Italia. Sky reporter Fraser Maud has more.
Back where it all began. Tour de France winner Geraint Thomas, along with teammate Chris Froome, ready to warm up for the Tour of Britain with a far higher. Fraser Maud, Sky News, Cardiff.
Now, it's been a beautiful day. Let's see if that weather's set to continue.
From the clear blue sky of a Doha morning to the fresh autumn breeze in the city of love.
Northern and western parts will be mostly cloudy tomorrow, with rain in places, whilst the southeast of England should be dry and sunny. Before then, though, many places will be fine this evening, but Scotland and areas around the Irish Sea will be cloudy with a little patchy rain. What rain there is will tend to die out later on, leaving it mainly dry, but a few showers are likely near western coasts. It'll be mild in the cloudy north and west, rather cool in the clearer east. There'll be some fog there and over northern and western coasts and hills. Looking ahead to tomorrow morning then, it'll be cloudy for many people, but the southeast of England will have plenty of sunshine, with any early fog soon lifting, It'll be mostly dry, but the west of Ireland and the Hebrides will see showery rain. Wales, northwest England and eastern Scotland may have a little patchy rain as well. It'll be fairly warm. Northern Ireland, the east of Ireland and western Scotland will see showery rain moving in during the afternoon, and there will be little change elsewhere.
The weather, sponsored by Qatar Airways.
Now we've got Sportsline coming up in a few moments' time. Let's find out more about what's coming up.
And again, we'll have rugby premiership action, Formula One, tennis and golf.